types of vectors. First one, as the name itself tells, zero vector. Zero vector means what? Which has magnitude 0. Simple. Okay. So if the vector whose magnitude is 0, or in other words I can put it as initial point and final point or terminating point is one and the same. Initial point is also same, terminating point is also same. Such a type of vector is called as a zero vector. Here I cannot determine the vector, direction of the vector. Correct, no? So direction can be any, like I can mark it in this way also. Any direction it can be. Any direction. Since it is a vector, it has a direction. Point usually does not have a direction. Zero vector doesn't mean that it is just a point. It means that it is a point which has many directions. Such type of vectors are called as zero vectors. Okay. Next one is unit vector. Again, name itself tells that unit is number 1. The magnitude of any vector, if it is 1, then such a vector is called as unit vector. Okay, magnitude symbol you can see over here. Magnitude of a given vector is 1, and such type of vector is called as a unit vector. And unit vector is usually denoted with the cap on top of it. Okay, we have seen the other vectors are normally denoted as an arrow mark on top of it, whereas the unit vector is denoted as cap in top of it. Okay, the next topic is next type of vector is co-initial vectors. Again, the name itself has co-initial. Co-initial means initial point is same. It is having the same initial point but two different terminating points. So co-initial means it is having the same initial points and two different terminating points. You can see here OA, OEB. It is having the same starting point. It ends at B. The A vector ends at A and B vector ends at B. Such type of vectors are called as co-initial vectors. The magnitude doesn't matter. If the A is bigger or B is bigger, doesn't matter. It need not be same also. Only condition to be a co-initial vector is the initial point should be same, nothing else. Then collinear vectors. Collinear vectors means, you need to understand this clearly. In the textbook they have given that the two vectors, if they are parallel to a same line, then such type of vectors are called as collinear vectors. So collinear, we have studied about collinearity is line joining one after the other, or points, if the points are on the same straight line, if I join the same line, then it is collinear. But now a little change in the definition you need to understand, that is, if two vectors are parallel to the same line, okay, this parallel means it need not be parallel to each other. It need not be, it can be also, but it need not be. If A vector is here and B vector is outside the board somewhere like this also, somewhere like this and like this, these two are may not be parallel to each other or may be parallel to each other, but these two both are parallel to the same reference line. Okay, such type of vectors are called as collinear vectors. So which means if two or more vectors which are parallel to the same line, then such type of vectors are called as collinear vectors. Okay, so this is the practical meaning of vectors which I am telling you. We can come across the problems or numericals when we are solving it. I'll tell you all in detail when we are going to use the formulas based on this. So the next topic, next type of vector is equal vector. Again, name is very clear, saying that if two vectors are having same magnitude and same direction, such type of vectors are called as equal vectors. You can see here AB vector I have written and CD vector I have written, that is A vector and B vector. Okay, AB is equal to CD, that is magnitude of AB and magnitude of CD is same, and also the direction of AB, the direction of A and direction of B is also same. Therefore I can call these two vectors as equal vectors. Now you can see in the next one, in the negative vector part, is that equal vectors means same direction and same magnitude, whereas the negative of a vector means if it is having same magnitude or the same distance, initial point and the final point distance is same, the magnitude is same but the direction is opposite. I hope it is clear. The direction of this AB vector or A vector is to the right side, whereas this this minus of A vector is to the left side. So such type of vector is a negative of a vector or opposite vectors, I can tell. So it has same magnitude but the opposite direction, and it is also read in a different way. Suppose this A vector here, if I read it as AB vector or AB, this minus of A vector is read as BA vector. Okay, I hope it looks also here in the video. BA vector is equal to minus AB vector. Okay, remember this correctly, which means BA vector is minus A vector and this is X. Okay, this is minus A vector, this is minus A vector and this is A vector. So that is how it looks like. BA vector, it should be read as the other direction as well. So this is all about negative of vector and the types of vectors. So I need to understand these basics in order to understand the vector numericals. So now I got a question saying that why do we learn this in mathematics? What is the use of learning these in mathematics? Because vectors, as I told you, it is a physical quantity, first of all, physical quantity, and then it has both magnitude and direction, which means there are a lot of physical quantities which you need to study about: displacement, velocity, force, everything. Everything, if I need to understand their characteristics, I should understand velocity. Vectors. That vectors, if I study, I can use in my research regarding finding out velocities, changes happening around the earth or movement of earth in different ways, displacement changing, what and all changes are happening in and around us. It deals with all these vector quantities. So mathematics, why we are learning in this part is to learn the calculations of those vectors, which will be applied in the research process of these things. Force, maybe displacement, in order to learn and understand these quantities more and more, to make research about it more and more, we need to understand this concept in the idea of mathematics as well. So this will help you a lot in order to do more research and understand the depth of physics as well as science. Okay, so you need to know these basics. That time it will be easy for any competitive exams for you all to crack and do these problems easily. Okay, so please make sure you check this video out once again, like rewind it once again, and then which will be helpful for you all, solving the other problems based on the exercise and numericals which will be coming across it soon. So please rewind and understand it clearly. So we'll continue in the next video. Thank you.